Good morning, is it from Zetster's Lab? Well, yesterday I went to visit a friend. Now she had an operation, a very, very big operation, a couple of months back. And she was really, really struggling to get back to her old self. It was a very, very emotional journey for her, a very difficult journey. And like most of us go through at times, all of us, there's not one person that doesn't go through hard times, difficult times, emotionally exhausting times. And it was awesome. As I said, I haven't seen her in months because she's that type of person. Listen to this. Before she went into hospital, she WhatsApped all her friends and said the following. Marty is going into hospital for an operation. She said, and please, her name is Marty, and she said, please don't come and visit me, not in hospital and not while I am at home recuperating. I need to do this at my own terms, in my own terms. Isn't that awesome? All of us have these things that we're too scared to tell others. And at first when I read it, I thought, oh my goodness, this is bold. And then afterwards, after a few seconds, I thought, wow, this is awesome. That is what she needs in order to get through her storm. So why not say it? Tell it to her friends. We are all her precious friends. So now I immediately knew. Otherwise you feel, oh, I should have gone a visit and must I go, mustn't I go? And you go and she's not feeling good. And she told us exactly what she wanted. And that took so much stress from my shoulders because I could just WhatsApp her as the Spirit leads and just encouraged her. And I could just wait for her to make the step to say, come and visit me. So yesterday was the day we went and we visited her. And she actually said, well, when she was asking us to come, and the awesome thing is this, listen to this. There is very little things that blesses me more than a home-cooked meal. My mother was a fantastic cook. I remember an uncle of ours, he always said, your mom's cooking is like pudding. So that was my mom. And I grew up on the farm and it was always these meals, beautiful home-cooked meals. So I grew up with that. So this friend of mine, once a year, twice a year, she would just invite us, hubby and me, for a home-cooked meal. I cannot tell you what it means to me to be invited and blessed with somebody that's willing to take the time to cook for me. Oh, it is just amazing. So Marty invited us for a home-cooked meal, and it was curry and rice, and it was fantastic. We call it curry and rice. There was sweet wine, muscadel. It was just a glorious day. But this is the thing. When she invited me, she said, and I want to show you something. You are going to be so proud of me. Isn't it awesome? We just want others to be proud of us. I mean, it's wonderful when my husband tells me, I am proud of you. So Marty said, I'm going to show you something and then you're going to be so proud of me. So we got there, and after a while she said, let me show you something. And she went into a cupboard and she took out this large drawing pad. So Marty started to draw. Well, she's a teacher, been teaching for 40 years and then retired, and now she's in her 70s, and she started to draw. But I mean, she knew I'm gonna be proud of her, so she showed me her drawings, and I was so thankful that she has started to create something. And that's what this video is all about. The power of creating. The healing power of creating. It is just amazing. I'm not telling you to start drawing. I'm not telling you to go and start working in the garden, whatever. But I never told Marty to start drawing. But she did. And now she's loving it, and she has experienced so much healing through just sitting and drawing. So immediately I said, Marty, I got the thing for you. Remember, I made my previous video of my little sketchbook journey. And once again, I realized something. When I look on YouTube and I see sketchbook art, the art is magnificent. The people's books are like masterpieces. And immediately I feel, oh my goodness, I'm never gonna get there. I mean, there are things, each and every page looks like a masterpiece. It's fantastic. So immediately I feel, that's been painting for 20 years now, I feel, oh, this is a little bit much for me. So what about a beginner? So Marty said, is there, just look at this, I'm just a beginner. I said, you know, and then I realized she's no longer a beginner because she already began. So she's on her way. She has started her journey. So immediately I said, Marty, this is absolutely amazing. But I've got something to share. And I ran to my car because once again, my little artist journal, or whatever you call it, that's actually what it is, a journal. It's not really a sketchbook. It's not only about sketching. For me, this is more about journaling and then sketching also, you know, whatever I want, whatever I see. So I ran to the car, got my sketchbook, and I said, this is your next step. Get a little book. I said, because yes, you can draw and you practice your drawings, but the awesome thing with this journaling is it doesn't have to be perfect. You just journal and you just draw. So she drew an eye with pencil. It was beautiful. And then I said, you know, Marty, if you do the eye in a sketchbook, then you can write something underneath or on the next page. What is the eye telling you? What are you feeling? You know, so this is what my sketchbook is all about. It's more a journal. So I was on an art course a year back, and one of the artists there, she told me, Izette, you need to get a sketchbook, because nothing is better than when you go and you sit in a coffee shop or wherever and you sketch the scenery. And I said, no, that is not for me, because you know, I rarely sit. When I am on a trip, I run around like a crazy person taking photos, because painting, taking photos, creating clothes, crocheting, whatever it is, I just love it. But when I'm on a trip, I take photos. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. So I very rarely sit long enough to really sketch. So I said, no, I don't think that's for me. But after a while, hubby and I went on a trip. And all of a sudden, I felt, oh, I wish I had a sketchbook. Because he was working and I had lots of time to spare. And I was sitting in this beautiful coffee shop overlooking the sea. And I thought, wow, I would love to just sit and draw. So I went and bought myself a sketchbook. That one was a little bit larger than this one, double I think. And I started. But what I did wrong, not wrong, it was a stepping stone. Everything I did, I tried to do perfectly. So if I do a tree or whatever, I would spend hours trying to get it right. And then I started with watercolors as well. So my pages were smudging because it wasn't a watercolor book. It was just an ordinary sketchbook that you're not supposed to really use lots of water and stuff. So I was struggling and I did it for a while and then I stopped. And then I started once again when I found a YouTube videos where a man explained that drawing doesn't come naturally. Because I believed this lie that anybody can, that some people can just draw. The rest of us can't. So I never tried because when I started, my things look like a little child's, you know. So I thought I'm not going to go there. So for years I just used lots of paint in my paintings and it was great. But then I saw this man's videos and I realized, just start to draw. He said anything, a cup, a flower, anything that you can see, just draw, start drawing. And I started doing that. And I didn't care about the end result. I was just starting to do it for the doing of it, for the joy of doing it. And I realized that's the idea. Creating, the idea behind creating, whether it's crocheting or working in the garden or sketching or writing for that matter, it's all about the joy that it creates while you're busy doing it. The healing. I mean, Marty got so much healing. The friend that told me about the sketchbook, she started painting after her daughter passed. And for her healing, she started to paint. So, if you really are going through a tough time, get yourself a journal that you can draw and where you can write. And it's going to be a life-changing experience. There are so many, what I now do with my journal, on my Facebook, I love Facebook because all the friends or groups that I'm part of is uplifting. I make sure if there's a friend and she or he writes something negative once, twice, 3 times, I delete them. I don't go for negative. It's hard enough to just survive day by day and just keep your peace and joy in the midst of anything. So I cannot. I'm like a crazy person trying to just keep my peace and joy. So what I do in my little book, so I saw this, for example, I started off just a photo that I took. My kids printed it out for me, so I just stuck it there. Oh, and another thing I am in love with is gluing things things. Oh, you know, we glue, when we're small, we glue everything. Oh my goodness, a glue, it's not long, then it's done because you glue. So I found this absolute love for gluing. So we went to this beautiful vergelegen wine estate. Oh, I showed it in the previous video. And I just tore up the map and I just drew some trees over with a kokie and some watercolors. Things like that. And now when I look through it, I get there and I remember the beauty of the trees, and it was winter, and oh, the colors, and it was gorgeous. So this is what my sketchbook is all about. So then I saw these little carrot people. In a previous video I also showed you the carrot people, where you really just take a paintbrush, add some paint, and you just make little blobs. And then you just add little legs and arms and a head, and you get people. So then I just do it in my sketchbook. And I write something that comes up, what I read, whatever speaks to me that day. All you need to do is accept this moment fully. That's in my first book page. You know, so when I look back, I see that. And I experience so much when I go back with no expectations. And what is awesome, I absolutely try everything now. When I see a beautiful photo or sketch, I try it. Even if it comes out not perfect. This is not about being perfect. This is about the process of healing, of developing, of finding peace and joy in this moment. You know, the sketchbook to me is just helping me to get grounded in this moment. It's as if it takes the whole world, shuts it out, and it's just me and my little book and just painting. So this was a little girl and the elephant. I saw the picture, the photo, and it was so beautiful. So next to it, I wrote the following. Power. This is your power. No matter what happens, it will always benefit me. Whatever happens will always benefit me. And that's power. If I truly believe that whatever is happening in my life can be used for my benefit, for my good, that is power. You don't care what happens because you know it can be used for your growth and your good and whatever. So just go with the flow and trust the life within. So that is just one little thing. So thank you that I can share this with you. If one person out there benefits from that or not, it's beside the point. I just share because that is what I feel I need to do. Because after Marty, who started to draw, I mean, that is a miracle in itself. And the healing she received, the healing I am receiving, and the expansion, or whatever you call it, I am growing. Sorry, I'm evolving. I am just loving this. So presently, I'm watching Wimbledon, the TV is behind, and the cycling. And so I'm on my couch lots of hours a day. So while I am watching, actually more listening, I am drawing and I am practicing. So these are just some of, I take a photo of the tennis player and then I just draw them. So there you can see, if you know tennis, this is supposed to be Paolini, and this is Musetti. But I'm growing, I'm getting there. As I said, I never drew because I believed I cannot. And guess what? Now I'm doing it. And slowly but surely, I am improving. But it's not even about that. It's just about doing it. So get yourself a little book. Just make sure when you go to the shop that the pages are quite thick so that it can take water. Because for me, the awesome thing is just coloring it in with some watercolor. It just makes it so beautiful. So get a little book. Get yourself, this is just, as I said, a pen. You can get these expensive ones as well. These are just color pencils. This actually, when you wet it, it becomes watercolor. So this is awesome. But what you need to start with is a little booklet, a pencil, a pen, watercolors. It's just so nice to color. So watercolors, you can get cheap ones that the children use. So get yourself that. And what I do love are these things. You buy them in bulk. It's, in this little thing. It takes water. And you get all the paint brushes. You get different ones. You know, some are thick. You can see there, some are thick, some are thinner. You put in some water. I still have my water here because it's quite difficult to push this out. And if I don't have to, if I am at a coffee shop or a thing, but I must say I use my coffee as well. But then these are very nice. And because there are lots of different ones, I've been busy with this now for about a year, and I must say, I love these because I don't do it perfectly. I just enjoy just quick color it in. So this is it. Thank you that I can share my journey, that I can share my life. And this has changed me and changed thousands of people over the world. Go and look at sketchbook art on YouTube. But as I said, mine is really to teach you, to tell you that you can do it. You don't have to be an artist to have a sketchbook. You can just be an ordinary person who just likes, who needs some healing, who needs to slow down, who needs to start creating. Get a sketchbook and really just start doing it. Even if you see a little tree, just start by doing a tree. Then when you see a funny little sketch, just try it, just do it. Because it's all about doing it. Because in the doing, you become still. Be still and know all is well. When will we know all is well and our life is unfolding perfectly? When we become still. And that is what art does, or creating, or writing, or crocheting, whatever you create. When you create, your mind becomes still. Be still and know all is well. And in that stillness, the life in you can start to work and flow, and you receive healing, wisdom, power, whatever you need in that moment. All you need to do is still your mind. And the easiest thing is to create. So get a sketchbook, a journal. Love you lots, he said from Zetster's Lab.